Guys, and welcome back to AdosTheGreat YouTube channel. So guys, in today's video, I'm going to be reviewing how I went in round 5, and then I'll be giving you my round 6 tips. Super excited to jump in and do this one once again. We do it every Sunday. I cannot wait to go through and see how I went in round 5. I know it's not great, but you know, happy to see and discuss each game. And then, yeah, as I said, round 6. Jesus, this season is going so quick, man. Already up to round 6. Crazy. Before we jump into this one, though, guys, please do hit that like button and the subscribe button. Really goes a massive way in helping me grow the channel. Without you guys, I'd be nothing. Can't speak. So I do thank you for your support. And without further ado, let's get into this one. So the first game, Thursday night footy. I backed in at the Sharkies to beat the Raiders. Look, I nearly changed this tip once Teague Wilton got ruled out. I was like, you know what? I might actually tip the Raiders. And then I said, you know, no, I'm not doing last-minute changes because the last time I did that, it came back to bite me because I took the Broncos to beat the Raiders, and the Raiders actually won that game. So I changed the tip. I got it wrong. So I'm like, I'm not doing that again. We're sticking with the Sharks. I should have changed the tip. Ironic that it was the Raiders again. In the next game, Panthers against the Cowboys. I backed in the Panthers here, and I was super confident about this one. I said that, you know, I don't see a world where the Panthers don't win this, and they don't win well. I believe I said I pretty much put my house on the Panthers winning this one. If I genuinely did that, I would have lost my house. Jeez, I really can't talk today. So, yeah, another disappointing one there. We move on to the third game of the round, the Rabbitohs taking on the Roosters. I got this tip right, but with everything that went against us in this game in terms of injuries, you know, losing Jamie Humphries within the first, I think it was like 5 minutes. Cody Walker didn't play the second half. Mikhail Ravalawa played 8 minutes of the second half. Like, our forwards were gassed. We should not have won this game. Somehow, with grit and determination and as most of you guys would probably say, a quote-unquote forward pass, we got the job done. So, yeah, look, I'm happy we got the win. I'm more happy that I got the tip right, to be honest, because it would have looked pretty bleak going 0 from 3. And it gets even worse because we would have gone 0 from 4 because I obviously took the Dragons to beat the Eels. It's just something that the Dragons, you just know they're going to do. I don't know how I didn't pick this, probably because the Eels have been atrocious in the first few rounds, but I don't know how I didn't go right. Parramatta, you know, they haven't won a game yet. Surely they're desperate, and the Dragons just beat the Melbourne Storm. Surely they don't lose to Para. Yeah, well, that came back to bite me in the butt, didn't it? Yeah, before we go into the next one though, guys, again, if you could leave a like and subscribe, it would mean the absolute world to me. Thank you so much once again for your support. All right, next game, Titans against the Dolphins. I backed in the Titans to win this one by 8. Dolphins got the job done by 26. Man, neither of these teams, I know you just don't know what you're going to get from either of them. It could be rocks, it could be diamonds, who bloody knows, but the Dolphins, they were actually really damn good in this game. They looked incredible. The Titans, in parts, looked okay, but for most part, they just look clunky. And it's like they go through these stages where for a week or two, you think, geez, is this a new look Titan squad? And then they dish up performances like this again. It's disappointing, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. We get that tip wrong, and we move on to the Broncos and the Tigers. The 6th game of the round. Obviously backed in the Broncos to win this one here at Suncorp. No Jerome Luai. I thought, the Tigers would struggle in this one. And they did, but in saying that, like, even with Luai here, I still think the Broncos win, and win quite well. Like, he's not going to make up a 22-point difference. So, yeah, good win there for the Broncos. We move on to the first of the Sunday games. So many people told me I should have changed this to Manly. Brookvale, they'll be up for this one. They were not up for this one. They were down for this one because they got pumped 48-24, which I think is their 10th biggest score they've had against them at Brookvale. Yeah, Storm were... I don't even think they were at their best, to be honest. I think they could have put this game fully away. I think it should have been closer to a 60 points to 6 scoreline, if I'm being honest. I think Manly did well to get to 24 points. But, yeah, I thought Storm, you know, while this is a good win for them, I still don't think they'd take too much from this one. All right, and then to wrap it all up, the Dogs 20-0 over the Knights. I've got to be honest with you. Like, I thought the Dogs would definitely be a top 8 side in 2025, but this Bulldogs team, this team is special, man. What they're building there, it is incredible, and they've still got players that need to come back from injury. Matt Burton, Viliami Kikau, like, they're doing so well so early in the year, and again, it is early, but I really do think that this is a team that could contend for a premiership. I genuinely do. So good win there for the Bulldogs and a good tip right for me. All right, we move on to the round 6 tips. As you guys know, I will give you my tip and then I will also give you a margin as well as a anytime try scorer from both teams. We'll talk a little bit about the games, but it's pretty much just going to be... I'll put that on silent. It's pretty much just going to be me going through pretty quickly on who I think will win and why. And then obviously, yeah, margin and try scorers. So Dolphins and Panthers. I cannot see a world where the Panthers go 1-5. I can't see it happening. In saying that, this year, who bloody knows? Dolphins at home, they could get the job done here. They genuinely could, and I'm not confident the Panthers blow them off the park, but I am confident the Panthers win. I'm going to back in the Panthers 1-12. I think we'll see a try from, what's his name, Jenkins. And for the Dolphins, I'm going to say Jermaine Asako scores for them. Pretty safe bets either way there, to be fair. All right, next up, we've got the Dragons against the Titans. Let me have a look at this. The Dragons have won quite convincingly the last 2 games here against the Titans. Titans did win the one before these last 2. The Dragons have really won convincingly. This is definitely a game I could see going either way. I really could. I don't know how to split these two. I don't know how the Dragons have got 70% tips there. It's a Wollongong, I believe. I am going to side with St. George, I think. I'm going to tip them 1-12. But again, like, I genuinely believe the Titans can win this one. It all depends on which side shows up on the day, which is comical because that's how every team wins. Whoever shows up, that's who wins. Or whoever shows up to play and play well is who wins, I should say. But yeah, look, there is a world I could make an argument for both these sides. I think this is a toss of the coin. I'm going with the Dragons mainly because it's at their home ground, but this is definitely a game I could see the Titans winning. So yeah, Dragons at 1-12. I'm going to say that Tui Pelotu scores another try there for the Dragons, and for the Titans, I think Jaden Campbell has a bounce back game and scores for them. All right, next up, we've got the Broncos against the Roosters, Suncorp Stadium. Broncos should win this one. They won 50-14 in the last meeting. The meeting before that, they lost 40 points to 18. And the meeting before that, they lost 20 points to 10. In saying that, these teams have played 50 games against each other, and both sides have won 25. So, yeah, realistically, should be split down the middle here, but it's not going to be because the Broncos win, and I think they win extremely well. I know Reynolds is likely to be out. I think he's out for a little while, but even with Reynolds out, like, you got Ben Hunt. Yeah, Broncos win. They win well. I think they get this one done 13+. Anytime try scorers, I'm going to give one to Shibasaki. He just loves to score. And I think Robert Toya scores as well for the Roosters. That is, if he is named in this side. I am hearing rumours that with Nwanga Nitawase coming back, Billy Smith could keep his position and Robert Toya could drop out. Only rumours at this stage, but if that is to happen, I think Nwanga Nitawase scores a try over Robert Toya, but we'll wait to see. I'm going to go Bobby Toya as my anytime in that one. All right, Sharkies against Manly. Manly were horrible today. Sharks have it's ironic because Manly played at Brookvale, Sharks won. Manly played in Cronulla or at Shark Park, Sharks lost. It's weird because it goes back and forth, crazy. I don't see a world where Manly get close to this one. I actually think Sharks win this. I'd like to say 13 plus, but again, I don't have full confidence in Cronulla. So I'm going to say on a higher end of a 1 to 12, maybe like a 10 to 12 sort of margin there. So I'm going to go Cronulla 1 to 12. Ronaldo Mulatalo and Ruben Garrick are my anytimes in that one. Rabbitohs and Cowboys is an interesting one. Oh, actually, sorry. This game is at Perth. I still think Sharks win, though. I just wanted to point that out. I did forget about that. On to the next Perth game. We've got the Rabbitohs against the Cowboys. I don't really know why the Rabbitohs have 81% tip. I genuinely don't. Like, the Cowboys have won the last 2 games against us. They've played 39 games. There's been 1 draw, 19 apiece there as well. So, like, I don't really understand how the Cowboys, only have 19% of the tips because they're actually the favourite. When I was looking at Sportsbet before, Cowboys are $1.90 and the Rabbitohs are $1.94. So the Cowboys are actually the favourites to win this one. And to be fair, it's probably unlikely we'll have Cody Walker, Jamie Humphries, Mikhaili Ravalawa. We should get players like Tai Munro, maybe a Hugh and Aitken return, but outside of that, we're probably going to either be playing Latrell and Jaden Sullivan in the halves or keeping Trell in the centres and playing Lewis Dodd and Jaden Sullivan. So I don't know how, I'm very hopeful and I believe we can win this game. I just think that 81% of people tipping us is kind of wild. Just with the players that we are going to probably go into this game without, I think it's kind of crazy, but obviously I'm backing in my boys here. I do think if we do get it done, I reckon it'll be by about 8 points. I'm pretty confident we can win this one by 8, but again, definitely could go either way. For the Rabbitohs, I think Latrell does score in this one. He got bloody close last week. Shout out to James Tedesco for the try saver, but I do think we do score. Trell does score in this one. And for the Cowboys, I'm going to go, if he plays, Robert Derby to score. Bloody tall winger, and I'd be very surprised if he doesn't get at least 1 meat pie in this one. All right, we are on to the last of the Saturday games. The Parramatta Eels taking on the Canberra Raiders. This is at TIO Stadium in Darwin. So a bit of travelling going on there for the Raiders. They played Cronulla in Cronulla this week, I believe. No, was it Canberra? So they're going from Canberra up to Darwin there. Obviously, the Eels have a bit of travelling to do as well, but the climate really doesn't suit the Raiders up there. Bloody hot conditions. So I do think the Raiders will struggle in this one. And this is actually a game that I'm probably going to side with Para. Coming off the back of that win against the Dragons, I reckon they'll be up for this one. Only 16% are tipping the Eels. I generally believe they can get the job done in Darwin. Who's got the Raiders have won 2 of the last 3 against Para quite convincingly as well. The Raiders have a much better win rate against Parramatta. But in saying that, I'm going to go the upset here. I'm going to back in the Eels. It's definitely different to what a lot of people are going to select and what stats show a lot of people will select. So, I'm going to back in Para. I'm going to say 1 to 12. And I'm going to say Zach Lomax gets a try in this one. And I'm going to go Tamale to score there for the Raiders. All right, next up, we've got Storm and the Warriors. I believe it's been 14 or 15 games that the Warriors have lost to the Storm. There's definitely a big streak they are losing. to Storm, so where they're losing to Storm. So I'm obviously tipping Storm here. I do think they win this one quite convincingly. I'm backing them in to get the job done, 13 plus. And for try scorers for Storm, I'm going to say Xavier Coates. He likes to try against the Warriors. And then for the Warriors, I'm going to say Leia the centre. I reckon he'll cross for a try in that one as well. All right, the Knights against the Tigers. This one's an interesting one. 60% tipping the Knights. They have won all 3 games they've played, well, all 3 of the last games they've played against the Tigers. Tigers, I believe, should get Luai back in this one. This is another coin flip. It really is. I think at home the Knights probably do win it, but again, I'm not confident whatsoever. Yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, look, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen in this one. This tip definitely could change. I definitely could be swayed to tip the Raiders. It's unlikely that I will. It all depends on team list, and I obviously will let you guys know if I do change this tip. The thing that does worry me is I've tipped all the home teams this week, so except for the Panthers. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, let me know who you're backing down below in the comments, guys. If you could, please do leave a like and subscribe. As I said at the start of the video, really helps the growth of the channel and all that good stuff. Thank you so much for tuning in, and as always, my friends, I will see you in the next one. Thanks, guys.